Well, good morning, guys. It's Bob K6UDA, and it is Thursday, the 23rd of July. Welcome to the big radio show, or the big YouTube live stream show. Let's see, we're starting off the day, 25 people in the chat now. Well, it says 33 people watching. Let's see, 26 is what I've got. But anyway, good morning. Just got back 2 days ago. We were in Idaho looking at properties, and I have now been affected by HOA and CCNRs. So we'll get into that, and we'll talk about the whole CCNR thing in a couple of minutes. Would like to just switch over to camera number 2 here. Camera 2. And let's see. Dr. Ballen. Dr. Ballen is in the house. And Dr. Ballen has some CCNRs now. So maybe I'm going to try to get the Skype going here. And if I can get the Skype app going, maybe in a few minutes we'll have Dr. Ballen come on, because he has devised some ingenious ways to not only survive but thrive in that whole CCNR HOA environment. Let's see. We got James Dillman from Indianapolis. Good morning. From Dale Nace from Menden, Michigan. Steve Ash, ham radio guy. Hello, Bob and the group. Let's see. Dawn. Hey, Bob from Philly. That is WB3BJU. Denny G, that is AKA Dr. Ballen, who has been on the show several times over the past few years. From Jas Keoman, CCNR, CC&Rs, covenants, conditions, and restrictions, and we'll be talking about that today. Let's see. Sandra, hello, good vibes. Hello to you, Sandra. Thank you. Let's see. From the ham radio guy. In the process of buying a house now. No HOA, ham-friendly CC&Rs. Well, up until about 10 minutes ago, I was in the process of buying a house, and it had some ambiguous CC&Rs. I'll tell you about all that in just a couple of minutes. We'll catch up with all these. Just to get everybody on board here, I am going to open up. I'm going to turn on, I'm going to turn on the Yaesu radio because I can control the room. And we'll open this up back to call-ins and the Skype address there. So I'm going to take that off and we'll go to there. Before we get really into this here, I I want to give a couple of thanks to Dave, W6CRT, Riverside County Fire Department. Thank you. Just got this when I got back in town. That is so awesome to find that. And you will see that your name and call sign are already inscribed on your patch. And your patch is going to go on the wall of, there it is, on the wall of fame over there. My infamous patch collection, which I hope over time will grow with great Americans, hams that are first responders. Love that. Let's see. What else? Good afternoon. What is CCNR? Tom, we will talk about CCNRs. Well, let's go ahead and start talking about them. A lot of guys, a lot of you guys don't even know what CCNRs are. I have never lived with CCNRs in my life, as far as I know. I've never lived with them here. I've been in this house for over 30 years. Didn't have CCNRs. CCNRs were kind of a foreign thing to me. And I get it. I get the whole CCNR thing. People, they build nice new neighborhoods. They don't want them trashed with yard cars and pop-up tents and trailers and crap all over people's property. They don't want, you buy a $250,000 house and you don't want the guy next door to paint a mural on his house and have you have to look at that. And it's not even so much about having the neighbors have to look at it. It's things can affect property values, and I totally get it. So here's my story. I was let's see, and let me try to find my my other screen here, my share screen maybe. I'm going to come back over to this one. I'm going to go to share screen and I can't. Super chat. Let's see, split screen. I'm going to go down the list here and try to pull up my my deal up here. Give me a quick second. I thought I had this sitting here, but I don't. Not going to be able to show you. Okay, we'll just talk about it. Screw it. We'll do it live. We are live. All right, so anyway, CCNRs. A lot of times you move into a neighborhood and you've got an HOA, a homeowners association. And that can be as simple as the homeowners association is there to for a shared well or irrigation water that's coming into a subdivision. Or it can be as complex as a subdivision wants to control everything. They want to, dictate the color of the house. What you can, if you could park cars on the street, if you could park cars in your driveway. Some of them are ridiculous. They want all cars kept within hidden buildings on the property. And these are sometimes on some fairly expensive $1 million properties with lots of acreage. So I have always had a big problem with them because, if I'm spending my money on a house, I want to be able to do what I want to be able to do on my property. Let's go to camera 2. The CCNRs sometimes get very specific. And if you go through some of these nice new neighborhoods, let's go back over to camera 1. If you go through some of these nice new neighborhoods, the CCNRs, they range, like I said, from not a lot, a very simple 1 or 2 pages to sometimes 25 pages full of CCNRs and all kinds of crap. Well, anyway, I just got stung by CCNRs. We found what we thought was going to be the perfect property. And it was 3 acres in Jerome, Idaho. Very, very nice house. It was like the house of our dreams. Had horse pasture. It had everything that we wanted. We put an offer in, and we were ready to go. Oh, as a matter of fact, today we just actually pulled the trigger. So today, the K6 UDA ranch here is officially on the market. But anyway, I digress. When we made the offer, I told my realtor. She said, "Oh, there's CCNRs here." So I read them. It didn't specifically say antennas, but it did say structures. And they wanted all these structures okayed, and they consider the tower a structure. Nothing over 35 feet tall. And my tower, when I put it up, it's, crank up, tilt over. It goes down to 20 feet, but it can go up to 40 feet. Anyway, had a conversation last night with the architectural committee, which is 3 people from this subdivision. And there's 12 people in the whole subdivision. This is very rural in Idaho, which is kind of what I like. Anyway, I told him about what it is. I sent him pictures. I did all this stuff because I'm doing my due diligence for the property. So anyway, they said, "Hey, can you sit by your phone? We're going to discuss it and we'll get back to you." I didn't hear back from them last night, so I knew that they were going to blow all this stuff out. Anyway, got a call from my real estate broker this morning, right before the show, as a matter of fact, who said, hey, they thought that your ham radio antenna was ridiculous. They shot that down. They didn't want you to put up a structure for your motorhome, which was another big deal. I wanted to put up 2 shops. And so I told her, you know what? I'm done. I'm out. So anyway, let's talk about the CCNRs, the whole thing. A lot of them specifically say antennas. And I get it. There's a lot of guys who either bought into a subdivision with CCNRs years ago, or maybe they bought a year ago, 6 months ago, whatever, and they weren't into ham radio. They either weren't a ham or they weren't serious about it, had left it for a while. And now all of a sudden they get interested in ham radio. And they want to help out the community. They want to do all the good stuff. They want to do it, they want to do it for whatever reason. You want to be a ham. But you now have to deal with the architectural committee of your HOA. And more often than not, you go into these subdivisions and you won't see an antenna anywhere. And maybe they make an exception for the Dish Network or DirecTV kind of a thing. But generally, no antennas, no TV antennas, no ham radio antennas, which means HF antennas are kind of a no-no, because a good one, a beam, is going to be, well, let's just say they're not. I think an HF beam is very pretty. I enjoy seeing them. A lot of people don't, including Mrs. K6UDA, who thinks they're not so pretty. But she understands that it's for the greater good. So let's talk about today, and I'm going to come back over to camera number 2, where we can, 63 people on the stream, 20 thumbs up so far. I am going to, I found the button. I found the button here. I'm going to hit the share screen, and I'm going to run over here. These, my friends, this is the CCNRs that we were talking about. This was the thing here, and if you look up towards the top, improvements shall mean all structures, appurtenances erected or installed on the real property, including but not limited to buildings, outbuildings, garages, carports, roads, driveways, parking lots, fences, screening walls, retaining walls, stairs, decks, landscaping, planted trees, sheds, antennas, satellite dishes, barns, or other similar fixtures for buildings. So, they basically now control all of that for the homeowners association. So, when you buy into a homeowners association, you are buying into that entire way of life, where those guys now are making your decisions, up to and including sometimes the kinds of plants and trees that you can plant or take away on your property. I don't know, to me, it's kind of like talking to the king. Dost thou allow us the lowly peasant to paint my house, my lord? Screw that. Fuck them. I ain't doing it. I thought these guys were gonna be reasonable, but they basically shot everything down this morning, and it is what it is. I'm gonna run back through here. Let's see. Good call, Bob. I'm gonna run through a couple of the comments here real quick. Good call, Bob. Those have been deal breakers with me when buying a house before too. From Mike. Yeah, it just is. Let's see. My buddy Don here. In 1979, I wanted to install a 77-foot crank-up tower. Only requirement from the township engineer was it had to land within the property that it fell. Had to downgrade to a 45 Wilson tower. Yeah, well, Don, I could kind of see that. That was a city requirement, not a CCNR. And trust me, my tower, that would have fallen well within my footprint. But they thought it was ridiculous and didn't want it. So, screw you. You're not going to be my neighbors. Let's see. Live out in the country. So, I am thinking, put an antenna on a windmill frame. From Denise. Denise, you just got to watch out. it's well, for me, and if we go back to my CCNR example here, let's go to temporary structures. That sucked. 2.06. Roof pitch. I think they had something of height, but anyway, couldn't have anything higher than 35 feet. So that was kind of almost a deal breaker for me. I can't find it, and honestly, I almost don't even give a shit anymore because we already just blew out. We told our agent, no, we're done. So now we're back to almost being homeless. Let's see. From Greg. Well, I got some catching up to do. VA6, Calgary. And let's see. Phil is in a mobile home park in Oceanside. Finally got a flagpole vertical up. And all is quiet so far. That is a great idea. And that was something that I was actually considering, or calling my my US Towers MH40 a flagpole. and sticking my hex beam on the top of my flagpole. HOAs from Tommy Tunes. HOAs are the Gestapo against honest homeowners. Yeah, they can be. It kind of depends. Now, there are, here's something I really wanted to talk about, is the ARRL a few years back had the Ham Radio Parity Act that they were trying to push through, and it dies in Congress. And what do? Nothing. That's another, and they may very well be working on it behind the scenes, but honestly, if we, the people, got a hold of, if every ham radio operator in the country got a hold of their own representative, their congressmen and their state senators, and made a push for a Ham Radio Parity Act, because it is a public service, they would pass it. If you had 1 million people in this country, just 1 million people, you and your significant other who's a voter or voting age, write a letter to your congressman and your senators for your state. I think that would do a huge thing. You could tell them, look, this is important. Things happen. And if you don't make this happen, I'm going to look to get somebody in who will make this happen. And I guarantee you, just 1 million letters from into different places in this country, into every state in this country. If 25,000 people in each state in the United States sent letters like that, kind of outlining what it is and what they would like, I almost guarantee you it would happen. They would make it happen. The reason they don't is because they've got the one lonely voice of the ARRL with, I don't know, 500,000 members or something. And we, as ham radio operators, we want to be polite and nice and not get in anybody's faces. I'm done not getting in people's faces. I would love to have a Ham Radio Parity Act and be able to tell an HOA when I buy a house, pound sand, I'm putting my antenna up, and if you try to stop me, I have federal law on my side that says you can't. Okay. Blood pressure. Let's blood pressure down. All right. So let's see. Good call, Bob. Whoever signs the check gets to make the rules. No HOA. Yeah, I am, like I said, not a fan of HOAs, but it seemed like a very simple one. And I know in Idaho, there's a lot of them in Idaho that are just about maybe sharing a well or sharing irrigation rights or irrigation water, something like that, or a road maintenance agreement. So, and that comes from friends who live there. I who would expect that you go out to America and you find California invading places like Twin Falls, Idaho, or Jerome, Idaho? I don't know. Let's see. From Dawn. It's a shame the FCC abdicated their authority over HOAs and CCRs back to Congress. Yeah. The president could actually direct the FCC to make rules that say you got to make accommodations for ham radio being used as public service. Now, mind you, when you put an antenna up, I'm not just talking about putting a big HF antenna. I know a lot of us, a lot of you guys, and myself when I was a tech, we're running around on these, or we're running around with a shack in the box in the house, and with that shack in the box or whatever, even a mobile radio in the house, you got to put an antenna outside. And if you live 25 miles from the repeater, or even sometimes 5 or 10 miles from the repeater, but you've got dirt between you, that outside antenna is the difference between being able to talk to the local repeater and not. But if you can't put the damn antenna outside because of your HOAs and the CCNRs and Gladys Kravitz, who's across the street, who's gonna, be the CCNR Nazi or the antenna Nazi, you're screwed. Okay. Breathe deep. Let's see. Some of the HOAs from James. Some of these HOAs would issue chastity belts if they could get away with it. Yeah, it's about power with some of them. They want to control everything. Let's see. Trying by whose definition? Yeah, that's the thing, is by whose definition. And I get it. We have from Steve, KO4AFL, the infamous 556. Thank you for another round. Um, yeah. So anyway, guys, my soapbox is if you're an ARRL member, jump on them and write the letters to the ARRL and tell them, hey, let's get back on that. Let's get back on that horse. If you're not an ARRL member, or even if you are an ARRL member, I totally think you should write a letter to your elected representatives. Let them know that this is something that really is important, needs to be addressed, and let's see if we, the people, can make it happen with or without the ARRL. Because right now, I'm not the biggest fan of the ARRL. They just haven't, I don't think that they've been doing what I thought they were around for. It's kind of like the NRA at this point. I haven't given money to the NRA in a couple of years because they're mismanaging things and they become a membership organization as opposed to sticking up, actually doing something for the membership and for our rights. And I know we have no ham radio rights and we have no right to antennas, but we should have a right to use our property for purposes like this, especially when we're providing a service. Let's see. Got another super chat from Don, 7.62, and I don't have one in front of me, but thank you for another round, Don. I could throw the big bullet out and say thank you for another round. Another donation towards the swear jar. Yes, Don, it is a swear barrel in my case. Let's see. What do we have here? K6UDA from. And let's go back to USA Ham Radio here. Since Mega Cool Guy continue. Love all the Mega. Hey, thank you. Love you guys too. Did I join GOA? Yes, I am a member of GOA and I contribute to the FPC. And I do that on a regular basis. Up until really about a year ago, I would give money every time the NRA called. I knew I was on their sucker list, and they would call about once a month, and I'd give them money about once a month. Now I give that money to the FPC because they're actually doing something. Let's see. Hey, Dawn. Good day. My friend Philip from the UK is in there. And we have 85 people on the stream, 50 thumbs up. Let's make that 85 thumbs up, guys. Smash that like button. And if you haven't already hit the subscribe, if you're new to the channel and you haven't hit the subscribe button or you've been relying on the feed, please hit the subscribe button because honestly, since my whole house hunting has started in earnest here, the videos are coming a little late, and I know I'm a little bit behind. I'm a lot behind. I admit it. I want to put the videos out, but man, things are getting busy around here, and I got to do this a little bit at a time, when I can, how I can. I hope you guys understand. You know what? Here's something I want to do. Is Dennis in there? WU6X. I'm going to send him a text really, really quickly here. And I'm going to say, can you Skype. And if he can send me a Skype, if he could do the Skype thing, Dr. Ballen has really made an ingenious HF antenna. He moved into a mobile home park, got rid of his big house. He took down his big tower and everything. He lost a lot of equipment. Well, got rid of it, but he has done a hell of a job kind of playing within the rules. It would be great for him to talk about what he has done. And before we get to Dr. Ballen there, let's see. We have another round for the swear barrel from Barnar. Thank you, my friend. That is awesome. Dude, don't have a stroke. I know it pisses me off. It just does. Let's see. Let's go back over here. Dennis WU6X, go ahead and hit the go ahead and call into the Skype, and we'll get you on the air here. Let's see. He's probably setting it up, so it'll probably be a couple of minutes. We'll go back over to camera number 2. Let's see. Anybody out there, anybody in the audience today dealing with HOAs, what have you done to overcome? Here we go. Let's do this. Dr. Ballen. We're going to
U6X. Go ahead and
WU6X K6UDA. Hey Dennis, how you doing? It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Can you hear me okay?
I can. I can hear. I think everybody else can hear you.
Yeah, this is a great experiment.
Yes. So Dennis, Dr. Ballen, as the people here have grown to know and love you, as well as I. Dr. Ballen has long since been one of my personal Elmers or mentors in the ham radio world. This guy has forgotten more than I'll ever know about radio.
About that.
Oh yeah, dude. You do. So anyway, I want to make sure, can everybody hear us? Can everybody hear both of us? Let's see. Oh, you know what? Got to put this one up. Oh, it won't go. I'll do it. I'll have to do it later. All right. Cool. Audio is fine. All right. So Dennis, you recently moved into, I guess it's an HOA restricted community, or is it a what's your deal? You moved into a mobile home community, a very nice one though. I mean, they don't really look like mobile homes. You there?
Yeah, I've got 2 cameras going. I'm not sure which one you're looking at.
Right now you're looking at the camera.
Okay, good. So I'm up the second computer then.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. And as you made comments alluding to the fact that I moved out of a really nice house, 22 years, and had a nice tower with a 2-element 5-band quad and a couple of inverted V's, and it was a nice setup that I had for a long time. Complete full boat Yaesu station, but had to get out and get out of the 2-story into a single story as I'm, getting up in age like so many of us. By the way, I don't have my white coat on today. Sorry about that. I should have my white lab coat on.
It's COVID. We understand all you doctors are working from home.
I know we are, and all my coats are in the wash. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, so the choices were few, and come across this high-end mobile home park here in where I live, and there was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath mobile home, really nice. And you've been over here, Bob. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And but the lease agreement that you have to sign to get in here explicitly said absolutely no antennas of any kind except for dish, DirecTV, satellite. So, oh my gosh, I have to get creative. I mean, I can still get on the air through remote bases and over the internet, but I really wanted a local antenna. So what I did is there was a redwood fence that goes around 3 sides of the property. It's 5 foot off the ground. I strung a long wire on 2 legs. So one leg is 64 feet long, and then it turns 90 degrees and goes another 64 feet, and I hung it off the top of the fence on insulated cup hooks. And I fed the long wire with a 64-to-1 homemade and transformer, which basically takes the input impedance of a long wire, which is somewhere around 3,200 ohms, somewhere like that, and changes that to 50 ohms. So now my transmitter thinks it's looking at a 50 ohm load. It's happy. I'm on the air, and I ran some curves using some antenna modeling, and lo and behold, it worked a whole lot better than you might ever think it would. Yes, it is pretty much NVIS, near vertical incident, which means, most of your signal is going straight up. But when the bands are right, I'm making contacts. Like last night, I was working CWT. I'm a CW Ops member, and I'm working the East Coast on that antenna. So it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, Bob.
You can't beat that. So that's how you got around it. Now, what do you do for UHF VHF?
Okay, for UHF VHF, I do not have an outside antenna yet, but I have a 4-drawer metal file cabinet here with a mag mount on top of the file cabinet, which gives it a heck of a great ground plane. And that gets me anywhere I need to go locally. And I have yet to put an outside antenna up. But boy, I had a J antenna at 60 feet at the other house. And I could talk all the way, 200, 300 miles away with that one. So it's a big shock, but I'm working around it, which is what you have to do.
Yeah, yeah. So you went into this. You went into the whole HOA thing or the CCNRs knowing what you were getting into.
Correct. And thinking in the back of my mind that eventually I'll come up with some workarounds. So, the HF antenna is marginal, but I bought some 26 gauge antenna wire from the Wireman, and 26 gauge is really, really tiny. It's like fishing line. So I do have a 60-foot pine tree in the back corner, and I'm going to try a sloper, same idea, fed with the 64-to-1 transformer to the top of that tree. So it'll go from the front of the mobile home to the top of that tree, and I think that's going to work real well. And I think I'm just going to put it up and see what goes.
And has anybody said anything? Has anybody noticed your long wire?
No, not yet. And I know they know I'm a ham because, my car is parked right in the driveway, and it's got a High Sierra screwdriver on the back and my ham plate. And we have a new manager here and a new maintenance guy, so maybe now's the time to stick up the long wire and see if it flies.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Very, very cool. Dr. Ballen, thank you so much for being on the show today. It's great to have you back on the show, and it's good to see your face. I know we talk several times a week usually, and we really haven't talked for a couple of weeks because I've been back and forth between here and Idaho. I'm Karen and I are both very disappointed this morning. You know, I was kind of hopeful last night when the HOA, when the architectural committee called me and they wanted to know about it, and I had sent them pictures of my tower, and they said, "Well, can you stick by your phone for a few? We're going to talk about this." And I thought, "Well, that's kind of encouraging."
That's really disappointing.
And then didn't hear from them. And when I didn't hear from them, about an hour later, I knew, and I told Mrs. Kasich UDA, this ain't going to go well. Okay. This isn't going to go well. And this morning, our agent called and said, "Yep, just got off the phone with the head of the HOA, and they said that your antenna was ridiculous." And
crazy.
Which, you know what, coming from non-hams, I guess, you know, that's what they think. Up until the moment they need you.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, I think your comments about people looking at moving, you know, you really need to look at that. You need to do due diligence like what you did, because you don't want any surprises. Now, going in here, I knew exactly what I was getting into. You know, I read the lease agreement, and so I knew I was going to have to look at workarounds. They won't even allow a flagpole in here, not even a flagpole. So it's extreme restricted.
Yeah.
But I did that going in. Hey, by the way, before we hang up, I wanted to let your listeners know that if they wanted instructions on how to build that 64-to-1 transformer, just have them drop me an email at wu6x@hotmail, or they can go to wu6x at my TRZ site, and I've got a downlink there.
Yeah, and I did a show on the 64-to-1 transformer. Yeah. I don't know, two years ago or so, maybe. I built one and I kind of ran through it and tested it. So, yeah,
that's even better.
Very, very cool. and guys, that 64-to-1 transformer with a 64-foot piece of wire attached to it does wonders. You don't need a tuner at all on between 40 and 10. It is less than 2-to-1 on all bands.
Yep.
So if you're thinking about getting a QRP rig without a tuner, like that new Discovery, or maybe NICOM 705, that may be the ticket to keep you from having to get an external tuner, and you won't be losing all that power.
All right.
Okay, Dennis, thank you. And I will talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, Bob.
Okay.
Good talking to you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. You need to hang up. And I will go back to camera 2. Go back to camera 2 here. All right, guys, so there it is. Let me pull the microphone back in a little bit. That's about it. So there are ways to get around the whole HOA thing if you are in an HOA restricted community. I have heard of people taking a long wire or trying to build kind of a dipole and hanging it under the gutter. But you got to remember, it's got to be isolated from all the metal. So using a fence post or using a fence, I think is a better option. But doing the gutter around the house might be an option for you if you can suspend it better. But remember, you've got a gutter, and even if you're 6 inches below it with a wire, you have the near field, and everything that wire is going is radiating. It's radiating into that metal gutter right above it. So that's kind of a pain in the ass. Let's see what we have for comments here. While we were on the phone with Dr. Ballen. Here it is from David Fuller. He's going to send me a pup tent for me and my lovely wife to live in, and we may need it. Let's see. Bob, you need to add a gunshot sound effect for the... you know what? Let's see. Do I have a gunshot sound effect? Not here. I do not have the gunshot sound effect. But what a great idea. If I could find one, Mike, I will definitely work on that. Yes. Okay, so everybody was able to hear us. Let's see. A tiger tail. There is a specific gauge copper wire. Is there a specific gauge copper wire that should be used? I have never heard of a tiger tail antenna, so I don't know. But I know, like with the 64 to 1s and a lot of the little 9 to 1s, especially if you're only running 100 watts, you can get away with some very, very small wire. And like Dr. Ballen was saying, he is using 26 gauge wire on one of these antennas. It's tiny. It's almost invisible. Very, very small stuff. I use 20 gauge on some of mine, and then I'll use 16 or 18 gauge on a lot of them because I want them to be a little bit more durable. So if something hits it, if a branch hits it, it's not going to just break it off and be done. Let's see. We got 82 people on the stream right now. Thank you very much. We have 76 thumbs up. Let's smash that thumbs up button and make it 82 or 84 or 85, even if we can. Let's see. 40. Let's see. Looking for any of your stories from Tommy Tunes here. Bob, you should invite the HOA members out for drinks, slip a Mickey in their beers, and get some photos with them in a hotel room with prostitutes. That, my friend, would be a great idea. And if I had bought that place, knowing full well what I was getting into, and I then decided I want to get an antenna or get a tower, I might have thought about doing something like that. 86 people on the stream right now with 87 thumbs up. You guys rock so much. Thank you. I love you guys. Let's see, from Mark. Hey, Bob, definitely an HOA definite no-no when it comes to ham radio of any kind of communication. HOA is not the way to go. Yeah. The problem is, guys, we're looking for, like I guess you call it the rest of my life, or my Mrs. K6UDA likes to call it the forever home. I like to call it for the rest of my life, I'm going to die on the property home. We want a nice house. We want to get, one of these nice, kind of newish houses or whatever, and I don't want to have to buy a house because the prices are so inflated right now, for, $400,000 and have to put another $100,000 into the house to make it the way I want it. And the prices right now in Idaho are just insane. Not to say that the prices here aren't insane too. The prices here are just as insane. I think stuff is still flying off the shelves around here, but we don't want to have a house payment. This is another reason we're doing this, is because we could get the money out of here, and we can get into a place and have very little, if any, of a house payment. And that's kind of the thing. You know what? 58, I'm going on 59 years old now. I got another good 10, 15 years, and I don't want to have $300,000 or $400,000 worth of mortgage for the rest of my life. And those of you that are my age or older even probably understand that. 91 people on the stream with 93 thumbs up. You guys, boom, 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 smash, smash, smash. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Let's see. From Mark, prescribed brand, new, very, very good condition, double wide mobile home. It is yours to do with whatever the hell you whatever the hell you want. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking we might end up buying property and building a place of our own. Marty uses a gutter and a 7300 with an AH4 tuner and a wire connected to the downspout, and that's how he's hiding it. So there is a great there's a gutter antenna, and like Dr. Ballen said on his fence antenna, at least on CW, he's getting across the country. I like to work sideband, so I think I'm gonna need a better antenna than a gutter antenna or a fence. Tiger tails were used as counterpoises on HTs. Okay. I did not know that. Didn't know that at all, OJ. Thanks. Let's see. Mike is correct. I use 20 gauge at 100 watts very effectively. So, guys, you don't have to use thick wire. You can use very, very thin wire when you're building these antennas, especially at 100 watts. Now, if you're running legal limit, I might suggest a little bit more wire. Let's see. Tommy Tunes then put up a 150-foot tower. Yeah, I still have to get that by Mrs. K6 UDA, and the chances of me getting a 150-foot tower, well, the chances of me, number one, being able to afford a 150-foot tower and afford to have it put up with an antenna, yeah, slim to none. Prices are insane everywhere. Whoop, there it is. If California housing market is anything like Michigan, yours will be sold in no time. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm afraid of now. Now that I don't have a place to go, I'm going to end up homeless here. very, very soon. I don't want to do that, but it's time we get the hell out of California. Let's see. Have I considered buying land and having a house built? I have. It's a little scary to me, Don. It is something that I've never done before. I don't know anything about doing it. It just scares the hell out of me having to go, store all my stuff, not having a place to go, maybe renting, I know, for a year. And then I always think, because I kind of have my prepper mindset, what if shit happens? Well, I don't have a house, and now I'm screwed. Now I can't even finish it. If something happens to the supply chain and I can't get the materials in, I can't finish the house, then I'm really, really screwed. I don't want to be in that position of being really, really screwed. So, just scares the hell out of me. Doesn't mean it's out of the question. But the land is, people want $300,000 for the land. It's just insane. Let's see. Dan Wild, he lives in a development next to a lake, North Texas. No HOA, no CCNR. Golf course, lots are running $150,000 or $15,000 for a half acre. Wow. Yeah. We may have to reevaluate where we're going. And I've heard there's places in Texas that are going for very, very reasonable. Anyway, guys, let's see, what else do we have? Still look at Wyoming. I got a friend in Wyoming, in Cody, and man, when I see his pictures and videos of winter there, there's no way. I cannot do winter in Wyoming. Let's see. You're not homeless unless you sell the RV too. That is true. From JP. Yes, I can become a full-time RVer for a while. Just got to find a place for all the rest of my stuff. My motorcycle, my truck, and my razor, and my tools. Let's see. Can park your RV at my place for a bit. 10 acres in Loomis. Nice. Orson, thank you. That's thank you so much. That is very, very cool. Looking good, Bob, from Cam6LYW. One of my local boys here. Or put a mobile home on land you purchase. Yeah, I thought about that. Mrs. K6UDA shot that one down in a heartbeat, because there was property out there with mobiles on it that I said, hey, we can put another home site on this property and live in it until we get something built. And she was like, oh, hell no, not living in a mobile home. Done. She makes the, she doesn't make the golden rule, but happy wife, happy life. So Mrs. K6UDA needs to be as happy as I am. Let's see. Are winters in Idaho close to that of Wyoming? No, they are not. Especially in southern Idaho, winters are a whole hell of a lot less mild, or a whole hell of a lot more mild than they are in Wyoming. Now, I know in Cheyenne, well, yeah, it gets pretty nasty in Cheyenne, Wyoming, too. I got a friend who lives there, and it gets windy and just holy shit. It gets insane. The winds and the storms there are off the chain. It's almost scary. So I'm not really considering Wyoming. Let's see. It is noon. So we started this thing at 11. And let's see. I'm going to invite anybody else who wants to jump on the call in to jump in there. If you've got Skype, you can call in the Skype call at Bob at over there, right there. Yes. Do it now. Or I got YouTubers on. Yep, that's on too. So YouTubers is up. Let's see. Roger says hi. And they could be very nice. You should look. Whoa, I got two up at the same time. They are built now. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, there we go. W4 CBM K6 UDA. What part of Idaho? Looking in both the general Boise area. W4 CBM K6 UDA. Good morning. Both the Boise area and the Twin Falls area. We want to kind of stay in the southern Idaho area. I know I love Coeur d'Alene, but too much snow for Mrs. K6 UDA in the winter. We've also considered Idaho Falls. Beautiful there, but again, a little bit too much winter for Mrs. K6 UDA. Probably a little more winter. Hey, good morning, K6 UDA. We'll do a little call in here. Or not. Oh, that's why it's not working. There it goes.
Dropping in and out. For Yaesu system fusion. So I'm glad that it seems to be working on the old one. Now I gotta see if I can get DRMR working on the other one.
Okay.
I think I'm making it too difficult for myself.
I had to put it back on my node. I was on a different repeater. Okay. Now I'm copying you because I'm back on my node. I was on a 440 repeater up in Auburn, and I was only getting a little part of it. So back here now. So anyway, might look at prefab stuff. Yeah. Guys, it is just... Let's get to some other questions from everybody. What is a good off-road radio? It depends upon what you want. Are you looking for a mobile radio? Are you looking for a handheld radio? or are you looking for, when you say off-road, it could be CB, it can be GMRS, FRS. It kind of depends. So elaborate. But any radio that you are comfortable using, any radio that is a little bit weather sealed, I would say is going to be a good off-road radio. Believe it or not, I will always say the Ballen. I will always say the Ballen. And there's my buddy Roger. Roger, thanks for the shout this morning. K6UDA. I will always, like I said, recommend a Ballen for off-road use because, number one, you're not going to feel bad if it gets destroyed. You might feel bad while you're out there, especially if you don't have a backup. But if you're, in a big group of people and everybody's within a half mile of each other, you can't go wrong with a Ballen. You can't even go wrong with a decent FRS radio. So my 2 cents. Let's see what part of Idaho. We already got to that one. Protected. Steve Ash says they're protected by the Boise Basin Mountain Range and the Ohies to the south. Very mild.
Yeah, I hope you're doing good, my boy. I hope you're having a good week.
All right, thanks, Raj. Good to hear you. Whoop, am I not working? Okay, there it goes. Thanks for the call, Raj. K6UDA. Had to put it on the right frequency. Okay. Let's see. Hey, how much snow is your limit regarding snow? From Anthony Becerra. Not a whole lot. If it gets a foot at a dump, that's cool. I don't really want snow all winter. I'm not going back east. I want to stay in Freedom Land. I want, number one, I gotta have constitutional carry. If I'm leaving here, I'm gonna have constitutional carry. As much as I hate California, I love this house. I love my property, and I love my little town here and the people in it. Almost everybody here is pretty like-minded, and if it wasn't in California, this would be Idaho with great weather. Let's see, mobile that you can install in a 4Runner. From DC Subi. The FTM 400 comes to mind. The ID 5100 is another great one, and you could pick those up a little bit cheaper now. Both fantastic mobile radios. The 5100, the one thing I will caution you on is screen fade. I have noticed in my truck when it's hot, I get quite a bit of screen fade. The FTM 400, I have not had any screen fade at all, and that thing has been in my Jeep now for over a year. So highly recommend that. Let's see. Did I get the MFJ 1026? Not yet. It is on the list. I will get one of those things coming and give it a shot. Let's see. From KD2 RDH, What can you tell us about adding a quality PA system to a vehicle? Can any be hooked up to a ham radio or only to a CB? I am not aware of any ham radios that will accept a PA system. I think that is kind of more in the CB realm. I just haven't heard of anything. Now, not to say that you can't do it, because it does have a speaker out, so you could go a speaker out into a little preamp and into a loudspeaker system, and then you'd have to have some kind of a cutoff switch. And if you're handy at making that kind of stuff, go for it. Let's see. Gotta go from Anthony. Gotta go. Lock that HT. Let's see. Who were we bending the knee to this time? Yeehaw. We were. We are not bending the knee, but it was to these guys. The HOA. I was actually considering moving into that place, but no longer. As of this morning, they're out. I'm in, and I'm back to looking. Let's see. Carry, is constitutional carry a big deal for you? Being an LEO, yeah, I am allowed to carry in every state, but as a lot of places find out, when the liberals start moving in, it can get real dicey, and it gets dicey for everybody. And I want to be able to fully retire and not have to be in the business anymore in order to keep my rights. Let's see, Oregon here. We carry plenty. As a matter of fact, I am looking, because my buddy is in Rogue River on 200 acres, has a wonderful infrastructure, and I go up there and I instruct firearms classes and advanced tactics classes up at his property. I have been looking up in Oregon. But it is, the politics do get a little freaking crazy. So, let's see. Just got a mag mount for the 4Runner. Tried to install. How do you install coax from the antenna through the door without breaking the cable when the door is closed? Very carefully. I would suggest in a corner, use a rear corner, or somewhere where there's a space where you could kind of snake it in. But it's gonna get bent. It's just gonna get bent, especially the cheaper RG58. Let's see. Forget your life. The FTM 400 went up in price $80 2 months ago. Well, that's just because it's not on sale right now. Once the holidays hit and they want to start selling a lot more, they'll put it on sale again. Let's see. Have I considered an old van ambulance? We had one once. Had a PA system in it. Oh, okay. That was for somebody else. If your car stereo has an auxiliary input, take the speaker output of the radio and feed it into the stereo. I have audio coming out of all my speakers. That is from Dr. Ballen. So if that's kind of what you're looking to do, if you're looking to put an actual PA and you want to talk on a mic and talk over a PA, I think you're going to be more relegated to CB. Free men shouldn't have to beg permission for their government permission slip to exercise a creator endowed right. Thank you. That is freaking awesome. And now I got 1 thumbs down. We got 86 people on the stream. 110 thumbs up. Thank you guys. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Please smash it now. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button somewhere at the bottom of this video. Guys, it is 12:30. It's just about 12:30 now, and I think it's about time to call it a stream. I have another video that will be dropping tomorrow morning, and working on a few more. Guys, like I said, please, if you're watching this video after the fact, please leave a comment below. Let me know if you have an idea for a video. If there's a subject, something you want done. I know there's one that I'm going to work on a little bit later today. I was talking to somebody about Lido mounts and mounts for cars. And I'm going to go through the mounting system that I put together for my FTM 400. So look for that one in the next week or so. I've got other ideas for some videos, but I want to hear what you want to see on videos. I'm going to try to get a few out while I'm here in California, and until I'm ready to head back to Idaho and start looking again. Let's see. I'll get a couple of final thoughts here from my buddy, the fire guy, up in Grass Valley, California. Finally caught me live. Thanks. Yeah, I still get on 30 Charlie. I haven't been on that much lately. We've been busy around here. From Greg Smith, thank you. Is it possible to replace the FM car antenna with a ham antenna? Anything is possible if you are willing to do the work to make it possible. But yes, it is. Let's see. From Dawn, another fine live stream. Thank you, Dawn. Interesting show. Have a good one from Steve Ash. And from Anime. Thank you for answering my question. That's what I want. You know what? I'm always looking for the questions. Thank you for asking the questions. I will try to get them answered as much as I can. Took me a month to get a Lido for the FTM 300. Yeah, we will talk about that. Good luck on looking for a new home. Guys, thank you again so much for being part of the show. And we'll see. Hopefully I'll get this damn thing to end the stream the right way this time. Guys, again, I am Bob, K6UDA. Leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, smash the like, and I'll see you on the next stream. And I will also see you on the next video. 7-3.